Hey guys, it's Paul Beauheart, Bangkok, Thailand. Out here on another chemo walk. I had to redo my route because there was some scary looking dogs going the other way. So I'm going an alternate route to the canal. There's unfortunately traffic. Hopefully it's not too loud. You can still hear me. So today I want to talk about the politics of cancer. The politics of cancer. Now I know politics, no one wants to talk about politics, but I think it's important because politics determines how cancer research and your own treatment is kind of funded, how you can access treatment. I think it's important to mention it. So, the thing about cancer is it's a highly political disease. It's, I mean, obviously it's life-threatening, it's fatal. So, if something, for instance, if some company causes some kind of environmental disaster, and a bunch of people end up getting cancer, right? You know, those people, they can use political action, political means to get money from the company to pay for the treatment, which I think would be justified in that case. On a bigger scale, public health policy, just like general public health policy, it determines how cancer is funded. Like during the 80s, when the AIDS crisis hit, a lot of the criticism was a lot of money got diverted from cancer research to, you know, HIV/AIDS research. I'm not going to say whether that was bad or not, but that's kind of what happened. I mean, funding money is a finite resource. Public health resources, finite resource. There's only so many like scientists. So society kind of has to dictate where the money goes. I think a lot of money does go to cancer. There's a lot of people doing great research, but based on the political climate, based on what's happening, you might not get as much as what you want. So, if you're a cancer victim, it might be wise to advocate for more benefits, more research towards fighting cancer. But here's the deal with having a life-threatening disease. Oops, sorry. Whoa, there's a little boy in a basket. Yeah, it's getting kind of hairy here. Let me just cut through. Alright, hold on, it's gonna get quiet real soon. Alright, we'll go down here. Alright, anyways. Here's the deal. When you have a life-threatening disease, and you're talking politics, if you want to argue with someone who, like, doesn't have cancer, you're gonna want to do this thing where you pull the supreme moral authority card. So you say, oh, how dare you? You want to cut off my cancer treatment? You're literally trying to kill me. It's a false argument. It presupposes that people who pay taxes and are funding, you know, are part of general society, that they can't partake in how those funds are spent just because, you know, I have a bad disease. So it's not fair. It's like the same thing when the Iraq war was going on, and there'd be like people who, you know, had never been in the military, and they were talking about policies for whether or not we should be in Iraq. And people would say like, oh, how dare you? You've never served in the military. You can't even talk about this. It's a false argument. You're not allowed to make it because, you know, that kind of stuff affects everyone in society. Funding for cancer, it's a lot of money. It's like trillions of dollars. It affects everyone in society. It's the second biggest killer in the world. affects everyone in society. So everyone should be able to discuss it. So you don't want to get in a situation where you're pulling the supreme moral authority and trying to shut people down just because you are unfortunate to have a disease. So with the political, because we live in the age of hyperpolitics, you have to kind of advocate for your own interests, right? So for me, someone with cancer, I want like more cancer funding. I'm also a veteran. I want more like funding for you know, the VA to pay for my cancer stuff. So you kind of got to get political, which I'm not a fan of at the moment. I was kind of hoping we would be post-political, but we're not post-political yet. Maybe one day. But right now, current political situation, and it's kind of similar in Asia as it is in the US. It's like you've got in the US you've got like, you know, the kind of the wealthy technocracy, kind of like Elon Musk, and they're kind of fighting against the established American managerial elite. So it's like different groups of elites, you know, vying for power, which honestly I like a lot better than what it was like 10 years ago when it was like this hyper racial, like I hate white men kind of. It felt more personal, like I was, you know, I was on the chopping block for extinction, or they were coming after you. But now it's like kind of like the politics is more like what you see in Asia. It's just like different groups of elites vying for power on who gets to be in charge. Fine with me. I'm not an elite. I don't care. I'm just a regular citizen. So, but in the political realm, since we are political, you have to kind of pay attention to who is gonna make sure that kind of your interests are met as a cancer victim. And I don't think anyone's gonna come out and say like they're anti-cancer victim or something. That'd be silly. But you gotta look out for where the funding's gonna go. You know, is the VA gonna be funded, you know, for my treatments, you know? What kind of public health initiatives? Are they gonna do actual research on diseases, or are they gonna spend it on, you know, like, so blue-haired, you know, gender-confused weirdos can, you know, do drag queen story hour? I don't know. You gotta look at where the money's going. It's important. And it's important you do that until we reach the post-political. One day it'll be post-political. There'll be like a Caesar in charge. Won't have to worry about any of this nonsense. I can just focus on, you know, hanging out with my daughter and fighting cancer and writing and making videos. I won't have to deal with politics anymore, which is a real silly thing. I have no business being involved in politics. Like 99% of the population should not be involved in politics. But here we are. This is the world we live in. Democracy, right? Anyways, that's a video. It's a bit hot for YouTube. We can talk about that another time. But just be aware that cancer, super political, how it's funded. So you need to kind of pay attention to politics. And you know, when you're talking with other people, don't be a jerk. No one likes a overly morally superior, smug kind of person when they're talking politics. It's kind of obnoxious, right? Just be normal. And I think people will be generally sympathetic to your situation and hope that you do get well. Hope that your treatments get funded. Hope that the disease gets researched. But it's just kind of a matter of what mechanism that's done, how that's done. Anyways, it's all right. I'll see you guys. It's been Paul Beauheart in Bangkok. I'm carrying my bag because I'm going down to the beach this weekend for a half marathon. Should be pretty exciting. I'll put a few clips on my channel, perhaps, the half marathon. It'll be fun. It's on a beach. I'm looking forward to it. It's really hot, so hopefully I don't get a heat stroke or something. All right, I'll see you guys. It's Paul Beauheart out.